governments receive money from a variety of sources and in turn use that money for a variety of purposes. So taxes, fees, grants, and other revenues come in, and then public services come out. But we can't combine all of this money into one big Scrooge McDuck swimming pool that the city council can dip into and spend on anything they want. Why? Because that doesn't make any sense. That's why. It's a cartoon. And because much of the money the city receives must be used for specific purposes. And in order to prove that these different types of money are in fact going towards their specific purposes, we need a way to keep them separate. And the chart of accounts enables us to do this separation by allowing us to organize our money into funds. Now, if that sounds a little esoteric, let's back up a second and consider a story from personal finance. So meet Shelley. By day, she's a hardworking accountant for a dog food company, Woof Poupon. And by night and weekend, she's a hard-rocking guitar player for the 90s cover band, Deep Blue Something Else. Her favorite color is sparkle, she loves her granny, and she drives an old-school Ford Bronco that hauls her band's gear and her dog, Smash Mouth. Hey now! At her day job, Shelley receives a paycheck into her bank account every 2 weeks. She uses this money to pay her bills, to eat at her favorite restaurants, and to buy tickets to see Jason Worth and the Nationals play on a beautiful summer day. Shelley doesn't have any restrictions on how she can use this money. It can go toward whatever she wants. When Shelley plays with her band, she receives money whenever they play a paying gig. Shelley loves playing with her band, and there is almost no end to the new amps and guitars and effects pedals that she would like to buy. But Shelley doesn't want to have to make trade-offs between new guitar strings and guacamole on her burrito. She wants her music to be separate from the rest of her financial life. So she set up a system. All the money that she earns from her band's gigs goes into a bank account that is separate from the account where her paycheck goes. Any money in her band account can go toward her musical pursuits guilt-free because it's specifically marked for that purpose. On Shelley's birthday, Shelley's granny gives her a very thoughtful card and a check for $50. The inscription on the card read, "Dearest Shelley, happy birthday. I know your favorite color is sparkle, so use this money to buy a nice new necklace to wear the next time you come to visit me. Love, Randy." Shelley's granny always gives her money for her birthday and specifically tells Shelley that it's fun money for special treats and cannot be used for everyday expenses. Because of this, Shelley has also created a separate account for granny checks. So altogether, Shelley has 3 bank accounts under her name. One funded by her paycheck that she uses to buy most of the things in her life, one funded by band revenue that she uses to keep her guitar rig in rock and roll shape, and one funded by her loving granny that she uses to buy whatever little treats her granny tells her to. So this system of 3 accounts allows Shelley to keep her different types of money separate and allows her to easily see how much money she has for a specific purpose. This system is essentially the same thing that the city does, organizing its money into funds. So, in Shelley's example, her main bank account that is funded by her day job paycheck is an example of a general fund. It's money that has no strings on the way it can be used. Shelley can spend it on anything. Her second account, the one from her band money, is an example of a special revenue fund. It's money that is coming in from a specific activity that in turn is bound to be used for that specific activity. Her third account, the granny account, is an example of a grant fund where Shelley has received money for a specific purpose and she is obligated to report back to the person who gave it to her to prove that she did in fact use it for that purpose. The city has all of these kinds of funds, in addition to another of other fund types that also allow the city to organize money in specific ways that enable proper tracking and spending. And for the purposes of the chart of accounts, fund is a critical segment when it comes to understanding our finances. In Munis, you can visit the account inquiry screen. Click the ellipsis next to the fund field. This will list all of our funds. By far, the biggest is the general fund, Fund 11. But as you scroll through, note that the city also does significant business in our special revenue funds in the 20s and 30s, such as Funds 20 and 21, our 2 grant funds, 27 and 29, 2 of our special revenue funds for sanitary sewer and storm sewer, respectively, and in all of our other funds through the 40s and 50s, which are our CIP funds. All of these funds allow the city to separate different types of money to discrete places so we can track them separately and use them for their specific purposes. So funds are the first level of resolution when you push into the chart of accounts. The next level is program, and we'll cover that in the next video.